Welcome to Basic Brewing Radio for Thursday, February 26th, 2026. I'm James Spencer. Here at Basic Brewing Radio, we're all about home brewing. This week, our Basic Brewing Virtual Roundtable tastes beers from the Rocky Mountains. Matt Giovanisci of Brew Cabin and Swim University shares a pale ale brewed with lots of his homegrown hops and a couple of beers that he brewed to get back to his brewing roots in the wild, somewhere on a Rocky Mountain mountaintop. If you want to support us financially, check out patreon.com/basicbrewing, and thanks to everybody who's helping out in that way. If you go to patreon.com/basicbrewing, you can see a long list of stuff that you can access if you sign up as a supporter. Financial supporters have already seen an early release of the video that Steve and I made about his muscadine wine. You may remember Steve talking about that on the show that we recorded with home winemaker Ron Miller. That show was about his rhubarb wine. Steve's wine turned out very well and different from other muscadine wines that I've had in the past. The commercial examples that I've had from Arkansas wineries are pretty big and pretty sweet. Steve's was much lighter and drinkable on the palate. Along with the early release, financial supporters got the very simple recipe that Steve used as well. I've gotten a couple of requests for brewers' logbooks. I've been out of stock of the logbooks for a while now. The last time I ordered a printing of the book, it took a pretty long time for them to sell out. And they weren't cheap to print because, we use high-quality, heavy paper to survive the messy environment beside the brew pot. So it's an investment to make something that's going to sit unsold on a shelf for a long time. Everyone is using apps and such instead of paper, except for me and a few others. I still use, use the logbook, and I use the app too. So all that to ask, is there any interest out there in printing another run? If I print more logbooks, would you buy one? They'll probably be more expensive than the last time I sold them, but if you're interested, please let me know. And if I get a groundswell of support for more brewers' logbooks, I'll get some ordered. I brewed a batch of beer this past Friday. I've been itching to try the seasonal yeast from our friends and sponsors at Imperial Yeast. B45 Gnome is the seasonal yeast for just a little while longer. I brewed a fairly big Belgianish beer with 2-row, malted wheat, and brown sugar. And I put a bunch of New Zealand Motueka hops after the end of the boil. So what style is that? I don't know, but I think it'll be delicious. I forgot to look to see if my airlock was bubbling before bedtime, but the beer was certainly happy the next morning. I didn't use a starter. My stir plate remains dusty. Those 200 billion cells in that easy-to-open, recently redesigned packet of Imperial Gnome got to work right away. There's still a massive amount of foam on top of that beer in the carboy, and I'm guessing that's because of the wheat, or maybe because of the hops and the wheat. I don't know. But luckily, it didn't get so happy that it came out of the airlock. No messes to clean up so far. Didn't have to mop the ceiling. I'm really looking forward to tasting what Imperial B45 Gnome did with that beer. Ask your local homebrew store about Imperial B45 Gnome before it's gone. And check out all the dependable deliciousness at imperialyeast.com. It's imperialyeast.com. Okay, let's get with the guys to taste Matt's delicious beer. Matt Giovanisci, welcome back to Basic Brewing Radio.
Thanks for having me.
It's all about you today. We're finally getting to taste your beers, and we've had them forever, and I was trying to figure out why it has taken us so long to drink these beers, but it's probably my fault, and I apologize. I've been looking forward to tasting it for a long time.
I accept your apology.
Very gracious.
Since he spoke there, Scott Housel is down in Florida. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks for having me on the show, James.
I forgot to say, Matt is of Brew Cabin and Swim University.
That's right.
Scott is of his own home, brewing wise.
Every day.
Up at Gambit Brewing in St. Paul, Minnesota, is Josh Secor.
Hey, guys.
And Adam Ross is having some internet problems, but he's here regardless. Adam Ross of Twin Span Brewing up in Bettendorf, Iowa.
Yeah, always a pleasure. My internet froze, literally. You could say ice sucked.
And author of the Homebrew Recipe Bible, Methods of Modern Homebrewing, and How to Brew Hard Seltzer, Chris Colby. And also, you have something else to add to your beer-related resume.
Yeah, I'm working at a brewery right now.
Yay!
I'm an assistant brewer.
Do you want to plug the brewery like everybody else?
Sure. It's a brewery. It's there's a pizza place in Bastrop called Neighbors, and they have a brewery attached that's called like Ice Bridge or Iron Bridge Ice House. So nobody ever uses the name of the brewery. You know, they just say Neighbors, the pizza place. But it's Iron Bridge Ice House, and it's the bridge they refer to was actually the scene where Leatherface chased the two college boys in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, where he's standing up in the back of the pickup waving his chainsaw around. That's the bridge they refer to.
So that's the real reason you took the job.
Yeah, and a job in brewing and a connection to horror movies. What else do I need?
So does the brewery have a specialty?
I don't know. The rumor is that
you do the work there, right?
The rumor is they're going to start
marketing.
Yeah, the rumor is they're going to start brewing hard seltzers soon. So,
oh, that was your in. I get it.
Yeah,
I think that's why they hired me, because like even at the interview they were like, "So you know how to brew hard seltzers, right?"
I literally wrote the book on it.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. It sounds like fun.
Thanks. Professional brewing it's great. There's the thrills, like when you connect a tri-clover clamp on the first try, and then there's the devastation when it takes you 5 years to connect a tri-clover clamp, and eventually have to call someone over to can you hold my hose,
so to speak.
Yeah, it's just not a phrase that I wish that I said at any frequency.
Well, Matt, which beer should we start with? For each of these beers has a story. Where should we start?
It's a good question. I guess I would start with the fresh IPA one, just because it's the oldest.
The fresh hop IPA. These are hops that were from your yard, from your garden.
That's right. And I can tell the story if you want. There's a video on the Brew Cabin YouTube channel. It's a short on how I did it. So I have a trellis in my backyard, and I have about 5 different varieties. I think it's Columbus, Chinook, Cascade, Centennial, and maybe Sterling or something like that. And this year, I kind of didn't pay attention to it as much. Usually, I train the vines or the vines, and I make sure that they stay on their lines, because I do everything in a bag, like a 30-gallon bag, so nothing's planted in the ground, just in case I want to move it. And this past year, didn't pay attention to it. Everything just got tangled. So big mess of I don't know what. So I took all the hops. And I took them pretty late in the year too, because again, wasn't really brewing this year and paying attention to it. But I took all the hops and I just made one beer with it. The ingredients are, it's just Golden Promise, and then a mismatch of hops. There's a little bit of hops in the boil. All of the hops are added at the end, at flame out. And I think I whirlpooled maybe for like 15 to 30 minutes, and then added USO5 and let it go, and there you go. I don't know how it's been a while. It's been months. So I'm curious how it's held up.
Tastes good to me. I think it's you can tell there's a bunch of hops in here. The bitterness is really nice. The malt backbone is nice as well. It's got an interesting malt character. It's just a teeny bit caramely.
Yeah,
on my palate.
That's how it was out
Golden
of
Promise is great.
Yeah, the Golden Promise. I honestly I don't like it that personally. I think the Golden Promise was a little too sweet for me. But as far as like, is there any obviously I canned these beers and shipped them to you. This beer was like I think it was on tap in October of 2025. So it has been a minute for a fresh hopped beer. I'm curious on like how it's held up in the can and if there's any flaws.
I certainly don't taste any flaws.
I don't get any oxidation.
No oxidation at all.
Diacetyl?
No.
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 No, it's not just the aroma is not just jump. Of course, my nose is not the best in the world, but the aroma is not just jumping out of the glass at me.
Yeah.
But the hop flavor is really nice.
Yeah, one of my critiques too was I wish it was hoppier. And if you see the video, it's insane how much hops I put in there. Like I clogged every pipe in an absolute mess. So
yeah,
it's kind of a casserole of hops. I'm not. It's funny that you mentioned they all grew together because before you were saying that, I was trying to identify like what is the hop? Like what even country?
if I had to pick a dominant hop, out of just the way that they grew, my Chinook crushes. Like it just does very well. So there's the biggest cones and probably the most cones that I had. My guess is Chinook.
I like this a lot. It really reminds me of a Sierra Nevada, like either like kind of a cross between the pale ale and torpedo to me. Like it's got, I don't know if it's the malt, just that the all Golden Promise or what, but to me, it really rings that old school Sierra Nevada hoppy beer thing.
Yeah.
Don't say pale torpedo.
That
would be inappropriate for James's show. Do not say pale torpedo.
Right, because torpedo's the IPA. That's why you're saying.
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah.
It's a Spinal Tap reference, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. The pink torpedo, I think, right?
Yeah, that's the actual. The actual lyric is pink torpedo.
Yeah. What's the ABV? Did you calculate, or was this?
Nope.
Was this the one where you had some drinks while you did it?
Yep.
When you had your friends over. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
remind us of the.
Yeah.
I think you told us the sort of disaster show themed story. I think maybe on a Patreon episode, but I don't think the main feeds heard it.
Yeah, basically, I had almost a 5-gallon bucket full of hops, like freshly picked, and I just made you can call it a smash beer, I guess, because I just used one malt, and I added a little, and I didn't use a hop spider, so everything just like went into I used my 20-gallon system to make a 5-gallon beer because I just thought I was going to have so much hop debris. And I actually watched a video where a guy had an electric kettle because I was worried about the electric element, like burning the hops or scorching the hops or whatever. So I only really added them toward the end of the boil or when it was like turn the heat off. But what I didn't, I don't know. It immediately clogged, like a whole hop cone stuck in the hoses to the point where I couldn't figure out how I was going to get the wort out. And I had a bunch of other ideas that I was planning on doing where I was going to do kind of like a hop back where I take like another kettle. Like I have, in hindsight, I had a kettle with a screen in it. So I could have just like ran everything through the screen and it would have been fine, like kind of a giant hop spider type of thing, or done a bag. I have plenty of bags that I could have put all these hops in. It would have been totally fine, but I wanted the maximum amount of hop flavor. And I don't know how potent these hops are in my backyard or how well they, every year it could be different, but yeah, immediately clogged. And then I had to disconnect all the electricity, bring it outside, dump it into another pot and squeeze all the hop nectar out, and then put it into our I have a what is it a unitank, and I poured it in through the top of the unitank, and it just went everywhere. It was a mess. I broke a whole like touchpad system, and yeah. So it yeah, it's that's the story. Next year, I am definitely going to pay more attention to the hops themselves and make sure I can dial in which hops are which.
Well, I think they're legit. I mean, I did, I grew hops here, which is a ridiculous endeavor in this climate. And I could never, I could actually, peel the bracts or whatever apart and see the lupulin and, feel it. And
yeah.
But it didn't seem to have much potency at the times that
that's where I'm at. We're crazy dry here. I don't know if that's what you want or not. I know there are hop farms here in Colorado that do really well. Billy Goat is a super famous one. So yeah, I'm on. I think I had my irrigation hooked up a little late this year too, and we didn't really have a very. Did we have a wet summer? I forget, but the hops kind of did their thing. This is I think third year I have them, so they're pretty established at this point. But again, I have them in giant grow bags, 30 gallon grow bags, underneath a 20-foot trellis.
Yeah, like I say, I think they're legit. I mean, I was, contrasting this to mine, and that's one of the reasons why I took down my trellises and got rid of them. It's just like, why am I doing this? This is a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And they look pretty. The Cascades, that was the only thing that grew in my yard is the Cascades. The German and British hops, they did terribly. But the Cascades, they looked pretty, but then, they burned up early, and it's just is not a good place to be to grow hops. But this to me tastes. I go along with the Sierra Nevada comparison. I think that's a really good one compared to like the kind of fruity beers that we've been tasting through the hop sampler. I think that this is more of kind of a more mature beer. In that
it literally is.
It's been on the earth a while.
It's been here for in beer years.
But it's it tastes like a real well-rounded beer. Chris, what are you tasting? I don't think you've said anything about your specifics.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. It's got a good hop flavor to it. It's you didn't dry hop it, right?
No,
because there's not that sort of oiliness in the aroma, but right. There's definitely a full-on flavor. And for how old it is, I'm surprised. And given that it was home canned, I'm surprised that there's none of that like wet cardboard taste or aroma from oxidation. It seems really, really fresh. And also given the treatment that it received at my house, because it sat in its box sort of at room temperature for much longer than it should have. But it's good. It's nicely balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Like Josh said. If I bought a 6-pack of Sierra Nevada and it tasted like this, I'd be like, that's how it's supposed to go.
Scott.
Yeah, so many agreements. Very much like Torpedo, dialed back a little bit, I think. And I see what you're saying about the little bit of the sweetness of the malt, which is something that this is like pushing to the edge of where I really enjoy, which Torpedo does too.
Yeah.
It's like I like it, but it's if you went any further, like I wouldn't like it as much. And when you say Chinook, I think I can kind of get the bit of citrus, the bit of dank. That's.
When I first tasted it out of the unit tank, it was hazy, and it tasted like a hazy IPA. It was I was blown away. I'm like, oh, I hope it stays like this. But almost very quickly, within a week, it was not like that at all.
What do you mean by tasted like a hazy?
Like it was milky, cloudy, and again, like I did add roll flock, but I didn't. I didn't dry hop it. I didn't do all those like. I mean, obviously there was like biotransformation probably happening at some level.
So it was more tropical, is what I'm guessing. It tasted than it does now.
100%. And then once I kegged it and it carbonated, I was like, oh, it's totally different. So like instantly it was. I mean, if you see the video too, it looked like that, where it was just like this like haze bomb, but yeah, that disappeared.
Yeah. I will die on that hill that you can't taste haze. So not to be that guy splitting hairs.
You're 100% right.
Yeah. No, I mean what I mean
yeah,
is it tasted juicy.
Yeah.
Like it tasted like tropical fruit. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. And after you said Chinook, I get like that dank onion, a little onion garlic in a nice way, in some of the fruit. This kind of reminds me of like an English IPA. Like,
yeah,
I don't know what that means in terms of balance and bitterness and restraint. It's definitely not in the camp of like haze bomb. I really enjoy it, and I don't like a lot of fresh hop beers. I think Sierra Nevada Celebration is about the only fresh hop that I like. And it's funny that we keep mentioning Sierra Nevada because they use whole cones, which you did here.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something to that character that's pushing with the whole hops. And I've only professionally brewed with whole hops like once because it's such a pain in the ass.
Yep.
That I think there is a flavor from using the whole hops, and that's what we're all getting.
Adam, you don't think there's a flavor to haze, but do you think there's a mouthfeel, or can be?
There can be, yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the haze is coming from that, polyphenol load in the hops, and then most hazies are using a ton of oats or high, the more starchy adjuncts. Yeah, but if you blind, I don't think you'd line up a bunch of beers, and I mean, we've all had beers that weren't meant to be hazy that were hazy. So that's the other side of that coin, where I think you can't taste haze.
Yeah.
Some of the haziest IPAs I've ever had, I swear, have like a grit to them, like
chalkiness,
like you're drinking sandpaper.
Yeah, when they're super fresh, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I like to let them sit for 2-3 weeks before they go on tap, just to kind of let that burn drop. Some people really like that. I don't like my beer to burn me.
Right. Yeah, and haze can change over time. So I don't. I've been trying to get away from filling them as hazy beers, because what if someone has it in their fridge for 6 months and they open it up and this person thinks the beer should be, it says right there in the can, hazy, and of course crystal clear. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do it again next year?
100%. Yeah. I mean, the hops are there, and they kind of grow without really much intervention. But this year, I'm going to train them. I mean, I've trained them in the past, but this year, I'm going to make sure they stay in their lane, so to speak. And I'm thinking about doing some other stuff this year. Like, I know, Chris, didn't you grow your own barley once?
Yes.
How was that? Was that hard?
Very, very straightforward.
Okay.
You just for a gardener, it's hard to figure out, because when you read about it, it's like ag sites and telling you like how many pounds per acre, and so you sort of have to do the back calculation, and scale that down. And then, like an idiot, I wanted to make the little rows and add like a barley grain every whatever. And after 20 minutes of like that, I was like, screw this, and then went to hand broadcasting. But yeah, it's I grew robust barley, which is a 6-row variety, really fantastically good agronomic qualities. And I grew there was a 2-row variety that was pretty good too. And yeah, it was fun. It was because I've been a gardener forever. It really wasn't hard. Wasn't difficult.
Did you get enough for a full batch?
I got enough to be frustrated at the winnowing process and gave up.
Got it.
Because I harvested all this stuff and I'm starting to separate it. And, after hours of work, you have like a handful of kernels. And I was just like, oh, Christ, I can, the homebrew stores sell this.
Yeah, I have an ambitious idea of growing all my own ingredients to brew with, including yeast collecting and water, because I live on a lake. So I'm like,
Wow.
I feel like within a, acre radius, I can make a beer.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to do that too. I wanted to, my barley, my hops.
Yeah.
I was gonna commercial yeast was fine with me, but just I would say before you or like during the growth season of figure out a way that you're gonna winnow. How you're gonna separate the wheat from the chaff,
Okay,
so
good to
to
know.
speak.
Yep.
Yeah, I grew barley as well, and again, it looked pretty, but I don't know whether I
Beautiful
planted it. Yeah, I don't know whether I planted it at the wrong time or what, but the seeds didn't mature. They didn't, you see the little seed heads, but there wasn't anything in them. So I don't know. I'm not a farmer.
Yeah, I still haven't matured myself.
Well, where should we go next? Which beer?
I would go to the amber next.
That amber.
Mountain Amber.
Mountain Amber. Now, both of these beers were part of your Back to Nature, Back to Your Roots project, right?
Right. So this beer was brewed at 11,000 feet in somewhere in the Rocky Mountains, we'll just say. And I did this all in my old equipment. So this was brewed totally different. The last beer was all done stainless steel electric system. This one was done in I used a igloo cooler for a mash tun. I boiled in a stainless steel kettle, and then I fermented in a glass carboy with USO5. And the hops are Cascade. It's a little bit of caramel malt. A little bit of caramel malt, Maris Otter, and a little tiny kiss of pale chocolate. And yeah, so I did a no chill because I was up in the middle of nowhere. I had no access to running water. There was a little tiny bit of snow up there, but not enough to cool anything down. So I put everything into a no chill box, like little container thingy, and drove it back down to where I live, about 2.5 hours away. And then the next day is when I added it to the carboy and pitched USO5.
That sounds good. What I would have done, it just as a twist on it, I would have played some John Denver music to the wort as it was chilling, just because,
Keep it chill.
just a little Rocky Mountain High,
Right.
Colorado. It couldn't hurt, is what I figured.
Couldn't hurt.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt.
And there's a video on the brew.
There's a video
Brew
on
Cabin
me
YouTube.
making this beer. Yep.
Yeah. It's a good video.
Thank you.
That's great.
And we talked about it in more detail on an earlier episode, but this is the first time, obviously, that I've had to drink the beer. It's beautiful.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Very
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, the one worry I had about this beer was I thought it was going to be too hoppy, and now I wish it was hoppier.
There is a nice balanced bitterness for sure.
Which I thought was going to be too much. I thought because of the no chill, I did limit some of that bitterness because I knew I was doing no chill. But yeah, I guess at high altitudes, you're not, we're not boiling at 212 degrees. We're only boiling at like 193, I think it was Fahrenheit.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And I didn't do a full 60-minute boil. I think I did everything like either somewhere around 40 minutes. So it was like a 40-minute mash, 40-minute boil.
I was just saying the shortened boil did not impact this at all. This is
Yeah, I don't think so.
probably could have done 30 minutes and you would have been fine.
Yeah. And that was really just to beat the sun because it was, we had to play by nature's rules that day.
Yeah.
You were shooting video,
Yeah.
and then you had to pack everything up afterwards
Yep.
with your friend. This is way good. I think it's really nice.
I just want to say this is really well balanced. I mean, the nice malt hop balance, an appropriate level of body for the beer, appropriate level of carbonation. I mean, this is a very quaffable beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no flaws whatsoever.
Yeah,
Really, no flaws in this one too.
Do you taste the flaw?
Even for dragging it off a mountain.
All I'm saying is I got told otherwise.
By whom?
By 2 other people.
2 other people who know anything about beer.
Bring them out.
One of them was
Let's
a
see 'em.
professional brewer.
Wow,
Really?
More.
What?
Yep.
What did he say? Or she?
This one, diacetyl.
What?
No.
So
No.
the thing with diacetyl is I can't detect it. So that's why I bought recently. I bought this stuff. I think I mentioned this in the last episode. The ALDC.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just. So, I mean, you know, when I told them the process, it's like it's pretty hard for it to happen because it wasn't like it was like, oh, only 5 days in the carboy, and then I early kegged it. No, this is like 12, 14 days in the carboy. During warmer weather. So but unfortunately I have to go by other people because I can't detect it. I do sometimes. I'll do a VDK test. Is that right? Sometimes I'm usually not going to go out of my way to do it, but yeah, that's what I'm.
Matt, I have a short story for you on that. I had a professional brewer years ago when I was a home brewer and hadn't gone pro yet, and he claimed that he could taste diacetyl. He's super taster for diacetyl. And so I said, "Oh, that's funny you mentioned that because I have this experiment I did because I was known a homebrewer. I was known as doing a bunch of side by side experiments, and I gave him one beer, and I gave him another beer, and he goes, "Oh yeah, the second one is definitely the diacetyl bomb." And I was like, "They're the same beer, dude. I didn't do an experiment." I don't want to be a jerk, but I'm like, get off your pedestal for a minute, because a lot of times people will confuse Munich or other specialty malts for diacetyl, and it's just like, no, you know what you're doing. You don't have diacetyl.
There's none in this beer.
I've eaten a lot of movie theater popcorn, like a ton of it. I want to stress how much of this I've eaten. I know what that slickness feels like. I understand. I don't think I've ever tasted that in a beer.
Oh,
which I know is impossible.
I totally have. Yeah.
Because the amount of beer that I've drank is so much outweighed by the amount of popcorn I've eaten in my life. That I would have. I feel like I would have known by now, but I feel like I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah. I have 2 stories. First of all, I think I was brewing or judging in Salt Lake City with the Beehive Brew Off homebrew competition, and I was judging pilsners, and I was sitting at the table with luckily more experienced judges, and we had tasted like 3 or 4 homebrew pilsners, and they were all really good. And one of the guys said, "It's just amazing we haven't had a diacetyl bomb yet." And then at that point, the steward popped the top off of the bottle, and you could smell it from across the table. I was like, "Oh,
here it comes."
That. And then, second of all, years ago, many years ago, we got sent a bunch of beers from someone, and Steve and I were tasting these beers, and some of them were good, some of them not so good. But we started tasting this one, and it was like, this is wrong, but what is it? And we just couldn't understand what our tongues were tasting. It's that thing where you don't know what you're tasting until someone gives you the descriptor, and it's like, yes. And Steve finally said butterscotch, and I said, yes, this beer tastes like butterscotch. And so that was the first exposure to a diacetyl flaw. But
yeah, and I've been nervous about it ever since I really did make a beer with it in it, and I was pulled aside at an event by a BJCP judge and was like, "Just so you know," and it was a Kolsch,
Huh.
And I was like, oh yeah, maybe, because that was like I rushed it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's definitely possible. And so ever since then, I'm like, I've taken all the precautions.
Yeah, man. If I struggle with diacetyl, one thing, tasting diacetyl, I struggle with it. One thing that really worked for me, helped with me was find a really, and this is really challenging to do, find a German lager and a Czech lager, try to find them in the same condition, age. The difference in flavor is diacetyl. I
Huh.
mean, it is, any Czech listeners out there might be offended by that, but it's, for me, I was like, oh, that's what they mean when they say, because the mouth feels there. There's a little bit
Yeah,
of this flavor, and but otherwise, I'm diacetyl blind. But for
yeah,
me, I'm like, okay, now I'm not necessarily looking for, on my palate, it's not buttered popcorn. It's something else, and then do that frequently because those are both amazing styles of beers,
yeah.
and
Right.
you've got
It's
to hone
a
your palate. So
it's an easy it's an easy homework.
I have
Mhm.
Gotta
I have a
practice.
diacetyl story. So when I was at Boston University, I've been a home brewer for a while, interested in home brewing, and started reading like the George Fix books and the sort of. I eventually came around to the sort of scientific approach, which I ignored at first because I was, training to be a scientist at the time. And I was like, I don't want my hobby to be that. I wanted it to be like, here's a recipe. But anyway, I started reading more often. Anyway, I'm in a cell biology lab one day, and I'm just looking into their fridge, and they had a little vial of reagent grade diacetyl, and I was like, oh, well, I will open this bottle of reagent grade diacetyl and smell it, and therefore I will have a direct, of what just plain diacetyl. Okay, the thing is, so I'm in this room, then there's other people all over, and I open the diacetyl, and like within a second, people are like, "What's that?" Because it's just just plain, pure diacetyl. It's just insanely aromatic.
Huh.
Like literally, people were like, like microsecond after I opened it, and you never forget that smell. You want to, but you don't.
Right. That's interesting.
A sense.
Yeah,
memory.
it's like if your head were shoved into some movie popcorn, except the movie popcorn was like 25 times as strong as this movie popcorn was. Be like,
and
Sounds great.
yeah. Let it be clear
movie
that
popcorn, but without all of the good
That's
popcorn
my
parts. It's
bag.
just
Right,
a
yeah.
weird
it's
taste.
just yeah.
My wife orders movie popcorn with extra grease, is what she calls it. Can I have extra grease?
yeah, I'm the guy who embarrasses my wife by spending way too. We go to the movie theater in Fayetteville that has the help yourself butter or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I spend way too much time at the pump pushing the button to. So I love it in the proper place.
In the proper place, yeah.
Scott, do you have any notes, tasting notes?
Yeah, I really like this. Is really good. I think I feel like maybe it's my glass, but it looks a little darker than amber. It looks browner, but
Don't tell Chris.
no, I really like it. I think yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's kind of like a million years ago when you had your first fat tire and you were like,
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. I'm not saying it tastes exactly like that, but it's like that there's pale chocolate or something in there. There's a dark malt that's in there, and
That's
there's
fat tire,
hops in there.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
even when I made the video, every time I make this beer, and even if I make it kind of like rushed or, don't really take my time with it or whatever, I feel like it always turns out like pretty decent. And if I were if I were like teaching people how to get into homebrewing, like basic brewing, I'd be like, start with amber ale. It's
Put it on the radio.
absolute, like, it's hoppy, it's malty, it's got like, and it's like, it's really hard to mess up. And I say that in the video, and then I'm quoting myself, but it's true. And I feel like like, don't start with a friggin' Pilsner or an IPA. Like, start with an amber, and you're gonna nail it the first time. You'll be hooked, and then from there, you just, then you can.
My first beer was an Irish red for the same reason.
Right,
Like
right.
the thing that my dad bought me in 2000 or 2001, somewhere in there. and it was an Irish red, and we're like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is drinkable." And then the
Yeah.
next 6 beers were terrible.
Yeah, but you're already hooked. So
Eventually, they came back around.
right.
All the equipment was clean out of the box.
Oh.
So I couldn't really.
Yeah, you couldn't mess. Yeah, it's hard to mess up.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
maybe.
And you didn't really. Did you measure the temperature when you were doing the mash?
Yes, I
I
did
know
have
you didn't.
I did have a thermopen with me. Yes.
Okay, and then you didn't. But I don't think you took gravities, did you? Or did you take
Correct. I
gravity?
did not take gravity. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for you to drive this up a mountain and then brew it on the mountain outside out of the back of a pickup truck with the German Shepherd walking around,
Yep.
like, I mean, if that's what you get when you do that, then it's like
That-
Well,
it's perfect. It's great.
you
Yeah.
did. You
I
did
mean,
do
you
a.
would not guess it at all. That's what I'm saying. Is
Right,
like
right.
you wouldn't guess that this is a stripped down method for making a beer. This
Yeah.
sounds like it's in all your fancy equipment in the background that you had.
yeah. Right. Exactly.
Well, warning segue coming. You did. You did do a practice run, not a dry run, but a practice run.
Yeah. So the other beer is not. It was not brewed at altitude. It was brewed here, but it was brewed it was brewed out back, outside, using all the same equipment that I brewed in the mountain with. This beer is just two-row. I think it's raw two-row, and then I had a bunch of Citra, and I just used it all. I don't even know how much was in there. I didn't measure anything. The grains were milled on site for this one, and yeah, I didn't measure. I mean, again, I did measure temperature, but I didn't measure any sort of gravity or, I just kind of went, okay, what is this? This is maybe a pale ale, I guess. And that's it. It's pretty simple, but it was basically the reason I brewed it was the day before I had to drive up to the mountains to do the video. And I was like, oh, I haven't brewed on this equipment in probably 7 or 8 years. So I had to pull all the equipment off. I had to wipe everything down because it was covered in like soot and dust and everything from the garage.
Pigeon droppings.
Yeah, just in the garage. So I hope not. Could be.
Rat droppings.
Yeah. So rat droppings. More accurate, mice. Yeah. So like wiped everything down and I set up the table outside and I just went, okay, what do I need to do this? Because if I forget anything, I'm screwed. I have nothing, I have to use like sticks or something. So this was a test run to see what equipment I needed. And then also I was trying to figure out how to bring even less equipment than I thought I needed. So like when I was doing the Vorloft, I was like, oh, okay, let me go get it. Let me go get like a glass Pyrex, pourer. And I'm like, no, I don't want to bring, because that's the only job it does. It's like, what else can I use that I'm already bringing? So I was figuring all that out, which again, I just used the no-chill container as my Vorloff collection vessel. So, and I only had one mistake, which was when I was going to mill the grains up in the mountains. I was going to take I have an old barley crusher with a handle. I was going to take that up to the mountain and crush the barley there. I thought it would look good. And then I took it out in the backyard and I started cranking it.
And then you milled the grain.
Yeah, knocked it over, swept up all the grain, put it back in, milled it, So I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to mill it before we leave. So yeah, screw that.
Yeah.
And this is, again, no chill and no hops.
Yep, this was
past the, or did you dry? You didn't dry hop this.
Wait, was that a no chill? Yeah, it had to have been. Yeah.
Because I swear I smell lemon.
Yeah, it's definitely no chill. Because then that's right. So I used the same container, and then the next morning I woke up, put it into a glass carboy, pitched USO5, and then cleaned out that container, and then brought it up to the mountains. So yes, and this is it's only 2-row and Citra, and USO5. Measured nothing.
Did you treat your water at all?
This one, I hooked up what do you call it? Like a RV hose filter.
What about on your amber that we just had? Was that water adjusted at all?
Same thing. I was gonna. James had suggested that we have a couple of like natural springs. I was gonna go get like natural spring water, but time was restrictive, so I filled up the water here with my water through a hose filter.
Yeah, that's interesting because I really like the water and the balance in this more than the amber. The amber was great, but if I would have had any notes, it would have been a water adjustment because I was getting I know I might be the odd man out here, but I was getting a little imbalance in that one. But here, this is perfect. So if you're using the same water, that's really speaking to the grain, I would guess.
Yes, it's the same exact water.
We're going to lose Josh here in just a couple of minutes. I want to give this beer tastes very fresh to me. Josh, what are you tasting in this one?
So this one, it's interesting to compare the two pale ales. I mean, I know they're nothing alike, but I'm going to compare them anyway. This one is a little more subtle than I guess the Fresh Hop IPA, but the balance in it is super good. Like for doing no chill stuff to nail the bitterness the way you did is impressive, I think, because that's especially if you don't do it all the time, that no chill stuff is like its own weird Australian science. So,
my thought process with that was I'm adding it I add all the hops at the end anyway.
Yeah.
So like it's if it's bitter, cool. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it wasn't cold here, so it wasn't like it dropped temperature fast, normally than anything else. But that is interesting. I don't know, I forget how much I used. Maybe it was like 10 or 12 pounds of grain, so like not a ton of grain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Citra, and it was all added at like as soon as I cut the heat, I added the hops, and then like got my stuff together and transferred it.
Yeah,
I think it's really good.
Yeah,
I mean, certainly the bitterness is in balance. I swear that I get a lemon flavor out of it. Am I the only one, or and it's
no? I think there's some lemon in it. I think lemon in it for sure.
Yeah, and that surprises me that it's since. I'm sorry, Adam.
I said Citra can pull lemon, and this is all Citra, right?
Yep.
But it surprises me that it's a no chill beer, and that that hop character has still been preserved.
Another thing too, like if you're new to homebrewing, do that. Like I just bought a thing at I don't know where what was it, like a water container, like it has to be like the certain letters, like HDLP or density something plastic.
Yeah, and especially if you've got water resource issues, which I think is why it arose in Australia, where water is extra precious down there.
Sure. And I do know I have our water tested here, so I do know our water is very soft. So
which you can kind of tell that this is soft, especially in this one, maybe more than the amber. That the soft water is you can tell that on the it doesn't have that harsh bitter edge. It doesn't have like the crispness of even the amber. I think is a little crisper than this for whatever reason. Grain most likely.
I agree. I was thinking maybe just hop, just like hop content.
Yeah.
But yeah, the amber turned out very dry, like drier than I expected it to be. Could just been like I could have just maybe had a more fermentable wort.
Well, maybe boiling it at 193 degrees is who knows what that does.
Yeah.
Sean could tell us.
Yeah.
Sean, who couldn't be with us for this tasting, but we'll have him. I'll send him beers for the next one. Josh, do you need to bow out?
I will fade into the mist here in a couple minutes, but
nice.
Ooh. Can I say something to Josh, and we can just cut it out of the show?
Sure.
Yes, please.
I know a lot of people who live in St. Paul. I have a sister, I have an aunt, I have several cousins, I have several friends. Uh, Among the non-celiac, non-alcoholics, I will recommend them to go to your I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but I'll recommend them to go to your brew. So maybe my sister
yeah.
will show up.
Sweet. We
What-
try and keep. I mean, we try and keep a lot of gluten-free stuff around.
Oh, do you?
But celiac is a whole different ball of fish. But
Oh, and I do want to mention though that I mentioned the Taco Tuesday at Twinspan, but the build your own hot dog at Gambit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That looks
It's-
incredible.
it's been super popular since we started it, and I had eaten since we started doing the roller dogs. I'd eaten maybe 2 in the last year. Since we started those stupid little sheets of paper that you can put Fruity Pebbles and chili cheese Fritos and SpaghettiOs and whatever on a hot dog, I eat way too many hot dogs now. It's not good.
Yeah, I spent way too much time looking at the Instagram post with that check
Yeah.
sheet, the little check mark sheet
Yeah.
on there, and just like, okay, now I want that, and then I want that. But would that clash with that? I think I might need a second hot dog because
Sometimes you got to get 2.
Is that new? Because when I visited you, I had a shirt. I bought a shirt that said "Best Glizzies and Best Wieners in the South."
Yeah,
Side or
Lower
something.
Town's finest wieners.
Yeah, and so I had to buy that shirt. So I have that
So
shirt now.
we were doing like upscale hot dogs for about a year, like a Copenhagen one with remoulade and we did a bunch of good ones, and then Mike went on tour with his band, and I think it was Cleveland. He ran across a place where like their whole menu is come in, you get a hot dog, check the stuff you want on it, and he's like, this was the greatest thing ever. And we're just like, we should do a version of this. And I was like, this sounds like, I don't know. Like Mike has a lot of ideas that I have to shoot down. But then the more I thought about it, I said, man, it's kind of perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do a super basic dog. Like you can get mustard and sauerkraut.
Mm-hmm.
You can get Takis, Fruity Pebbles, SpaghettiOs, like feta cheese, like beer cheese. I mean, it's been cool, and I think it's just going to pick up steam, and it's going to make
chili.
so much.
There's chili.
Chili, yeah.
There's like 2 different kinds of chili, right? Or there's
regular chili, and then my favorite thing to put on them is crushed up chili cheese Fritos. Chili cheese Fritos, caramelized onions, beer cheese, and barbecue sauce might be the greatest thing I've ever tasted.
And popcorn butter.
Do you have a veggie dog for Scott?
We do, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yep. We just started carrying them, so
Cool. Yeah, at Funky Buddha near me, I don't know if you guys can get it, but there used to be a hot dog cart outside, and I would get chili dog with cheese, like nothing crazy like what you got, I guess, but normal-ish ingredients. But I get this hot dog that it was like just fall apart with beans and all kinds of stuff. It was great.
Oh yeah.
I just got a bunch of like black bean burgers, like just the discs, they're frozen. Because I mean, I like hamburgers well enough, but I mean, beef prices are expensive, and a black bean burger can be awesome.
Yeah.
And I got the lettuce, the tomato, the buns, all that. So I'm gonna have some veggie burgers soon.
We've evolved. We're not talking about vintage candy this time, but we've opened new territory. Any last words to say? I think do we reach a point where we can wrap up? Scott? I don't think you said anything about this beer, the last beer.
Yeah, this one's really good. It's got the most carbonation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. To be honest, it's my least favorite one, and
Yeah.
it's still a great beer. But something about the amber. I'm really into the amber beer. Doesn't describe this beer, but no, this is a really good beer too. If this was your practice for the other one,
Yeah, and it was thrown together. So like It is
Yeah.
the recipe even was just like, oh, what do I have? It's like, oh, okay, I got some two rows, some citros, let's throw it in. And it's like,
This might be my favorite, Scott, and I'm not just trying to be contrarian to you. It is it's like an alternate universe zombie dust, which
yeah. So then if
we have
that
three
teaches you
boys and that's all
anything,
Citra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't write recipes. Just throw stuff in a vat and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know?
What we do at Gambit Brewing Company?
Yeah. Yeah, run your whole brewery that way. It's like the mystery beer every time.
As someone who is a professional brewer here in Northwest Arkansas, he was talking to Steve at his brewery or at his homebrew shop and said, "Well, I'm more formal. I have a more formal approach. I don't brew like willy-nilly like you do." So anytime you hear Steve say willy-nilly on the show, it's a reference to that conversation. But willy-nilly works if you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
No, it's good.
That's the great thing about it. You can go nuts, or you can go like really let's see what happens.
Get a run.
And
Bye, boys. I'll see you soon.
See you, Josh.
Right.
Josh has parental activities, so
Yeah.
thanks
Basketball practice. What do you do? Cheers, boys.
hang in there. Hang in there, buddy.
My entire year is going to be this style. It's just, or the process is going to be like, I don't think I'm going to measure anything. I have all the like very complex, expensive measuring tools, and I think this year I just want to, and I have the software. I formulate, just ratios using the software. But I think for 2026, I just want to try just, making beers that I want to drink, that I kind of have a vague idea of like, all right, one malt, two malt, hop or two, a decent yeast that's well taken care of, and just rely on process as opposed to recipe, and have fun really with it. So
well, I think that one advantage to following recipes, and doing the more kind of measured approach is you kind of get a feel of what works.
Yeah.
So now you have some instincts. Now you have some.
From doing it for as long as I've been doing it, it's, and knowing what I like and knowing what ingredients I like, it's like cooking now. I don't necessarily, if I make the same thing over and over, I don't really need to follow a recipe. It's just, I kind of just know what works and what doesn't. Not in all styles. Like if I had to make a Scotch ale right now, I'd have to, spend time on it. Like, coming up, I have I actually just got it in the mail yesterday. I'm making a coffee milk stout using the Cope Luwak. And I had to source it from a place that actually foraged the coffee beans as opposed to like cage the civets, but like in Indonesia.
Yeah,
the cat poop.
In Indonesia, they these civets eat the cherries and then
process it. Yeah.
Right. So I have a bag of that, and I'm gonna make this beer with. I only got a small, tiny little amount, but that's the plan. And then I have a plan for a cinnamon toast crunch barley wine.
Oh, that sounds good.
We'll see how that turns out, and then I have a best bidder here in the cask that's waiting to get tapped either this weekend or next.
I'm most excited about that one. I would be all about the bitter over the rodent poop.
Oh yeah, I mean it's all gimmicks. It's really just like it's really because it's as a home brewer, I always just try to replicate what the pro brewers would do. Like I just wanted the beer to taste as good as everybody else's. Now I'm like, I don't care. It's like
your beers today taste better than a lot of pro beers I've had, and I'm being sincere.
For sure.
That is, don't assume just because they're pro that they know what they're doing and that they know how to make great beer. Homebrewers,
no.
Yeah.
Every beer that you've sent and I've tasted has been commercial in the ideal way. Commercial quality in that it is a well crafted product, and I would not be disappointed to purchased it on the shelf. And these 3 beers fit in that as well. I mean, you can,
and I've spent the money to get it there.
Yeah.
It's like,
but then two out of 3 of these beers, you went back to basics and
that's true.
You knocked it out of the park again.
That's
true.
true.
So yeah, don't shortchange yourself.
That's true.
You're,
and
you might know what you're doing. Right?
Yeah, that might be
sure.
true. The other
Also,
beer, go ahead.
yeah.
Also, civets aren't rodents. They're in the filiforms. They're the most basal lineage of cats.
Yeah.
Broadly construed.
Yep.
So they're not rodents. They're
So
sorry.
they're in the same.
Shit out that you're working on.
So I want to call the beer. I want to call the beer Cat Scat Fever.
That's good. Yeah.
And on that
It sounds good. It sounds really tasty.
And on that note, Matt, I'm sorry it took us so long to taste these beers.
As long as they held up,
they're as good as I anticipated, and I'm glad that I was able to keep my hands off of them for so long. It's great, just wonderful, and I look forward to seeing what happens on Brew Cabin.
I have another beer that I'm going to package and send.
Oh,
it's a Mexican lager made with finger limes.
Oh yeah,
we talked about that.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for it to like legit lager. So I'm waiting for it to basically clear up a little bit and mellow out a bit, and then I'll be packaging and sending that, and then there'll be a video along with that one too.
I'm waiting for something to clear up too, but that's another issue that I'm working with.
Robitussin.
Were you eating raw coffee cherries?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, let's hit the stop on this one, and this has been fun as always. Thank you guys for hanging out, and especially thanks to Matt for these delicious beers.
You're welcome, and thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you, Matt.
Well, thanks again to Matt, Josh, Adam, Scott, and Chris. I've got another tasting with those guys this afternoon. Looking forward to tasting some beers from Scott this time. If you have brewing questions, show suggestions, or just want to say howdy, write to james@basicbrewing.com, or just fill out the contact form on basicbrewing.com, and don't forget to tell us where you're from. Check out our mobile-friendly shop at basicbrewingshop.com, and don't forget to drop me a line if you're really interested in getting a brewer's logbook, so that I can, if I get enough interest, I'll print another round. Thanks to everybody supporting us through our Patreon page. Special goodies coming your way. Check that out at patreon.com/basicbrewing. It's all until next time. Until then, thanks for listening, everybody. I'm James Spencer. Production help for Basic Brewing Radio and our website is provided by Kelly Dotson. Basic Brewing Radio is a production of Active Voicing. We'll talk to you next time, everybody. In the meantime, stay well and stay tuned. So long.